Bracketology presented by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, breaking down the 2022 Texas High School Football Playoff brackets. That's Ishmael Johnson. I'm Greg Tepper, and this is 4A Division II. If you're into this kind of thing, then you'll love this. This is, for me, I think we're going to talk a lot about every region, right? Mm-hmm. But I think most especially there's two regions that are on opposite sides of the bracket, hypothetically, that I think are going to probably steal the show.
Emotioned a little bit there.
Well, I'm just trying to send some signals.
I'd say so.
But there's intrigue in every region. We'll start in Region 1. In Region 1, this is probably, I don't want to say the most wide open, but I would say at least the where one upset could really throw everything into a blender, because right now I think there's two teams that everyone's got their eye on. I think it's Wichita Falls Hershey and Glen Rose. Those are probably the two teams that are probably the top two teams in the region, and the winner of whoever comes out of that is probably going to be the favorite. But what if Canyon West Plains just isn't scared of anybody and they beat Hershey? What if Fort Stockton gets hot and they beat Glen Rose, right? What if Graham upsets Glen Rose in the first round? This bottom half of the bracket is the power nexus, and up here, boy, pick a name out of a hat, man.
I was about to say, you want Ferris in the regional final? Let's put Ferris in the regional final. Yeah, but I saw Wichita Falls Hershey earlier this year. They have incredible playmakers, right? On any given night, basically in this entire region, they will have 1, 2, 3 of the best players on the field. Probably the 2 or 3 best players on the field. A lot of mystery elsewhere on that roster, right? They maybe in the trenches, they're not as big, as physical as you want. On the outside, they're fine, right? Quarterback, running back, all that stuff, right? I think they'll be okay. But it's a lot of mystery. I don't say a lot of mystery, but a lot of intrigue elsewhere if they maybe go up against a Glen Rose who maybe can match them or beat them in the trenches, right?
Right, and that's the thing. Depth is not the name of the game for Hershey. They are top-line talent. If that wins out, then they're going to have an opportunity to make a run. Up here, Monahans, Seminole, Midland Greenwood, I mean, take your pick. It's really interesting. Region 2. And now we get to the fireworks factory, okay? So you've got the number 1 team in the state in Carthage down here. It feels like we haven't talked at all about Carthage this year because they've just been mowing people down.
It's inevitable,
Wire to wire number 1. And by the way, they can see in the third round, the number 2 team in the state, the Gilmore Buckeyes.
We want to talk about an East Texas clash, right?
Yes.
That'll be absolute fireworks. But yeah, you want to go with Pleasant Grove, right?
Yeah.
They've had a couple years of being up and down, right? They look back to being normal. You want to talk like Cato Mills, Aubrey, right? I mean, man, this is, you could see, it's hard to say. You could see a bunch of teams coming out of this region because eventually we might just put Carthage right there. But
that's what's so interesting is that you've got 3 of the top. I don't know where Pleasant Grove is ranked off the top of my head, but maybe 3 of the top 5 teams in the state right now. And yet it does feel like Carthage, because of their pedigree, because of what they do, they've got to be your favorite here. But Gilmore can get them. Pleasant Grove can get them. Aubrey can get them. I think Caddo Mills can get them. I think that's a tough first-round match for Pleasant Grove with a van. I think that, but it's so funny that Gilmore beat Pleasant Grove in the regional final or in the district play. Gilmore's reward is they get Carthage earlier.
Right.
So no good deed goes unpunished. Let's go to Region 3. Over to Region 3 we go. And
another fun one.
Another really fun one, and a lot of state-ranked teams and a lot of contenders. Silsbee, Belleville, Waco, Connolly, their ceilings. Phew, geez. Cuero, Jasper. This is really fun. You're going to have fun first-round matchups, and then you're going to get really tasty second and third-round matchups.
Yeah, I saw Waco Connolly this year. Their issue is they have worse depth than Hershey, right? They are a 30. They played, they have 30 kids on the roster, basically. They're top-line talent, right?
But they've got like 4 FBS
They have insane talent. But it's just about those next guys, right? If those top line guys can be the best players on the field every single night, they could potentially make it out of this region, right? But they're also a team that can slip up to a Giddings, that can slip up to a Hampshire. Like, it's just weird, the random, because there was a weird loss they took early in the year, I can't remember off the top of my head, where they just got trounced. And it had to do, they had some injuries out, and just those second line guys aren't quite there. And obviously you're not going to have a Kobe Black on every position or every 2 deep, but still that makes me lean more towards Silsbee and the guy Draylon Miller, who's having one of the best years I think of anybody in the state.
I made this point on Tap and Step a couple weeks ago that Draylon Miller's giving me real Trindavian Dixon vibes when Trindavian Dixon was going for Navasota, where it's like You know they're going to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Just cover him, but you just can't.
Nope.
Like, he might be the best player in this bracket, but I'll tell you, Belleville's extremely dangerous. I think they have an opportunity to ruin anyone's season and win the region. I think everybody's sleeping on Cuero. The Gobblers are legit. They are very, very strong, and that defense, I think, is really rounding into form.
I will say, they didn't get an easy first-round draw, though.
No, Salato's tough,
Yeah.
and then they get Jasper potentially in a second-round matchup.
So we'll know if they make it out of it, they'll earn that.
And then, by the way, Brookshire Royal, keep an eye on them. That's my sleeper. If you're looking for a sleeper, Brookshire Royal is them. Let's go to Region 4. Over here in Region 4. This, to me, feels like Wimberley's to lose.
I think so.
I look at Region 4. There's a couple of other teams I like. I like Divine. I like Sinton. I like Geronimo Navarro. Lago Vista, maybe. But in the end, it does feel like it's Wimberley, and it would be a pretty big upset if they didn't make it to
Yeah, it feels like Wimberley and Geronimo Navarro seemingly find their way against each other. I think that's probably going to be my penciled-in favorite. I do think Sinton's is the biggest threat to Geronimo Navarro. I think there's a good chance they make it out of this side of the bracket as well. But I mean, credit to Wimberley, right? You lose your quarterback, he transfers in the offseason, and they've just kind of made things work, right? They look like they're still the same team they've always been under Coach Warren there.
Yeah, and so when you take a look at 4A Division II as a whole, again, two teams here in Hershey and Glen Rose. Rest is kind of a mystery. Down here, just a chainsaw factory. Over here is a chainsaw factory, and then you've kind of got Wimberley. Maybe Sinton, right? Maybe Geronimo Navarro. But it does feel like, especially here in Region 2 and Region 3.
It feels like your state championship matchups here, right?
It does feel like, yes. It really does feel like the power lies right here. So 4A Division 2 is going to be a lot of fun in this March to AT&T Stadium, and we will be with you every step of the way at TexasFootball.com.